find myself noting something consistently, whether it's involving gambling or gaming, which is how quiet people's lives become when they're in the throes of addiction. Not a tranquil, meditative quiet, but one that's unsettling, where time seems to stretch out endlessly. You glance at the clock, and it's nearly midnight, yet nothing significant occurred during the day except keeping yourself occupied. If we haven't met, I'm Phil Shea, an addictions counselor, specializing in helping men navigate gambling and video game addiction. This aspect of addiction often goes less noticed because it's harder to notice the lack of something. What often lies underneath those behaviors fundamentally influences what you might be experiencing. When people attempt to stop these habits, they don't solely confront cravings and urges. Instead, they encounter a wall of uncomfortable feelings. There's restlessness that compels you to move, a low-grade anxiety where nothing feels wrong but everything feels off, maybe a longing for something but you can't quite tell what. It's a boredom that goes beyond a lack of activity and transforms into a sense of absence, a flat, gnawing emptiness. Your internal dialogue can be harsh. You might hear a voice insisting you're falling behind, that you're wasting time, or that you should be doing something more productive, or maybe just more. Following that feeling, there's often a drop in self-confidence, and soon after that, the sting of shame for not managing things better. All these feelings stack up, one on top of the other. I've mentioned it before, but these feelings can stem from internalized capitalism, that you're only as valuable as the amount you're able to earn, and that rest is not only for the weak, but a complete waste. I've heard from clients who are objectively successful, especially for their age, yet they still think they're lacking something, falling behind, wolf at the door. Once this emotional weight accumulates, your brain instinctively reaches for relief, which is where gambling or gaming swiftly steps in. They provide an escape, different flavors of the same antidote of feeling progress, competency, and direction. However, of course, these activities don't lead to genuine satisfaction. They simply make you feel less bad while you engage in them. If any of this resonates with you, I invite you to click the link below to book a call with me. Together, we can analyze your specific situation rather than engaging in guesswork. Here's a truth that some may find unappealing. This issue extends beyond you as an individual. It encompasses the social system surrounding you. Many people reside in areas where participating in social activities demands logistical planning. To engage in something as straightforward as let's go to the gym together, you must consider several details. What time works for both of you? Who's driving? Do we have the energy post-work? Often such conversations stall right there. So, what typically wins in this scenario? The option demanding zero effort, of course. Getting your scroll on, booting up a gaming console, or switching to a betting app that's probably already open. There's no need for travel, coordination, or the potential for cancellation. It's instant access, and that reliance isn't a personal failing. It's simply how our system is designed to work. Once you're ensnared in that gravitational pull, the remaining aspects of your life start to thin out and become harder to reach. Let me illustrate this with an analogy or two. Picture a plant you're caring for. You're providing water and ensuring it gets sunlight. From all appearances, it seems you're doing everything right, yet it's failing to thrive. The soil has been stripped of nutrients, making its leaves wilt, its vibrance diminish, all while everything seems to be happening without any obvious cause. Similarly, this is what you may be experiencing. You're busy, you're doing things, yet you're not genuinely nourished by any of it. Alternatively, imagine a car that never had a tune-up. It still operates, but over time, it becomes less responsive, begins to make strange noises that you overlook until something ultimately breaks down. Social connection acts as a necessary tune-up for your mind, smoothing over rough edges. Without it, every task becomes more taxing, leading many people to get stuck in vicious cycles. They mistakenly believe overcoming addiction is merely a matter of willpower, of white-knuckling it through the struggle of stopping, just deciding not to gamble or log in. However, if your environment is barren, your brain is running on empty. You're asking it to resist urges while simultaneously regulating your mood, managing isolation, and handling shame. That's an overwhelming load for anybody. Inevitably, your resolve crumbles. And when it does, your self-esteem takes yet another hit. You begin to trust yourself less, making the next attempt stem from an even weaker state. This is the loop that many fall into. Isolation drains you, leading to you to seek something to cope. Yet that coping mechanism further isolates you, deepening the drain on your mental resources. Breaking free from this cycle doesn't require heroic effort. It calls for structural change, like reintroducing things back into your life that can help in your recovery. Most of these aspects will involve connecting with other people, not in overwhelming ways, but through repeated contact. Establish regular connections, seeing familiar faces, returning to the same place, and engaging in familiar activities at predictable times each week. This could involve watching a game together, working out side by side, going hiking, or preparing simple meals together. At times, these may feel inconvenient, and a phrase I like to use in these moments is that community comes at the cost of convenience. Initially, they may almost certainly feel like a disruption of your usual routine, but that's entirely the point. You may have to drive or leave your home when you're not motivated to do so. However, this friction is vital. It anchors you in a lifestyle that isn't merely reactive, but instead is filled with considered choices that emphasize what you truly value. Ask yourself now, how fulfilled do you feel with your current routine? Is it truly serving you? If you're finding value in this discussion, I encourage you to subscribe. I regularly share these insights, helping people identify their struggles before they spiral further out of control. Here's a mental shift that works, often more than people expect. Stop waiting for invitations. Take the initiative to reach out. Become the person who sends those messages, even if they're small, even if you don't get a response sometimes. You might say, I'm heading to the gym at 7 if anyone is interested. Or, I'm grabbing a drink this Thursday, feel free to join. You could even offer, I'm cooking this Sunday, nothing fancy, you're welcome to drop in. Not everyone will say yes or show up, but if even one person does, it can be a good time. When I've moved to new countries or cities, this is how it always began. I would go to events designed around meeting people, exchange contacts with people I vibe with, and mention I'd be planning something soon. Then I'd follow up by messaging within the next few days. Many people didn't follow through, but the ones that did are what matters most. Give people an invitation or two, and if they don't put in any effort to reschedule or consistently just don't show up, move on. Once these activities become regular, they're less dependent on how you feel in any given day, and that's where stability begins to set in. The activities and community you've fostered becomes the thing that you look forward to, that energizes you, crowding out the need for the things that only take from your life. This idea applies to gaming too. Many individuals I work with aren't just chasing a dopamine high. They're attempting to replace missing social structures. Gaming provides teammates, shared goals, voice chats, and a sense of belonging. If you take away these social elements without offering alternatives, it's only natural to feel a void, because there is one. And so the goal isn't just to eliminate the behavior, leaving yourself sitting in a basement, staring at a beige wall. It's about restructuring the context surrounding that behavior. You need more contact, more rhythms, and more opportunities to ensure you're not left alone with your negative thoughts and feelings for extended periods. When your life encompasses more experiences, the urge to escape diminishes. Not entirely, but sufficiently for you to actively work on managing it. Once again, I'll note here that you also need to be aware that sometimes it's not you who's the problem in your social circle. It could be others who are falling down. If you invite people 2 or 3 times and they never reschedule and always either have an excuse, cancel last minute, or just simply ghost, then it's time to move on and meet new people. Personally, I select for people who are emotionally stable and show up fairly consistently. As you seek to take control of your situation, focus on replacing the behavior while identifying the gaps in your life that need filling. Start there. And if you're looking for guidance on doing this in a way that genuinely sustains your efforts, not just for a week, feel free to book a call with me through the link below. I'm Phil Shea, Addictions Counselor. Thank you for your time and have a great day.